please can you tell us a bit about yourself and a bit about what you do?
I'm John Gregson. I am an employment partner at Weightmans. So I am an employment tribunal litigator in essence, but I also work in our product and innovation space as well, and occasionally dabble in LinkedIn.
I'm Simon Marshall, and I own a marketing agency that does legal marketing. We do everything from PR and comms, digi, and then I mainly focus on strategy, positioning, and turnaround.
Okay, so how would you both say that you use LinkedIn in your everyday? Do you use LinkedIn every day? Is it
No,
unfamiliar?
never post on it. Really don't like the platform. So I am very, I don't know, critic turned evangelist. Would you say it was that? Probably. I see the benefit of it, and I absolutely see what people can do with it. But I think I come from a place of where I didn't see all of those things, and so absolutely don't. Also, I maybe do get the caution, kind of fear and apprehension that will come with people doing it. But I absolutely do now see how you can fold that into your day job, and just everything you can do as a lawyer, as a partner, and just someone who kind of day to day with whatever you're doing, whatever the profession is, I guess.
Yeah, I think John's journey is really interesting because I think a lot of us start out as professionally sceptical when we're in the legal sector, but then when we're convinced of something, we become an advocate for it as well. And I think one of the things that you're really generous around is sharing that exact journey. It's okay to be a skeptic of this thing, but on the other side of that skepticism is something maybe you do want out of life, which is connection, community, access to ability to kind of win new work for colleagues as well. And it does take a personal journey, I think, to go through that hill every time.
It is, and so I spent some time Tuesday, Wednesday this week with our vacation schemers talking about it, and what's been really good is every day since they've all posted their very first post. It's mind-blowing actually seeing what they post about, so I might tomorrow actually do a post about their post, because it's really quite humbling when you see what they could do and thinking, it took me 20 years to do this. They're doing that and they're not even through the door yet. But you see the stories they can tell and the people that they are. It's phenomenal what they could do with this, and the time and the nurture and everything that we've all been able to do with it. These are VAC schemers, and they've got so much to add at that point. But it was amazing to see, come and talk to them about it, and now they're off doing it already, and they've all kind of gone out and put these posts out this week, and every single post has been absolutely phenomenal. When you see a post and you go, I wish I'd done that. Yeah, all of them are like that.
I love that. I think we'd both say that Sarah McCall from the BBC is somebody who celebrates like youth empowerment in those ways as well, lets people get on with their careers earlier on as well. So I love the fact that you're doing that. I think it's not. It's also a skill that you can comport over into other areas of life. I think a lot of people think of LinkedIn as like a LinkedIn thing, and I don't know about you, but I've found being good on LinkedIn to be really helpful while we're here at Legal Tech Talks as well.
It is, and I think for me that goes back to almost the content piece for me, because I don't post anything legal. No. I do one post a year about how many Freddos you can buy with an unfair dismissal award. That is it. You don't get any legal updates from me because I'm not really interested in the law. It's the people piece. It's what you get from it. And yeah, like 2 days here of, okay, people recognise me, know me from that, but they don't know me for the employment lawyer piece. They know me because of who I am, what I do, the firm, and everything that comes from it. So it's LinkedIn, but it's more about the people still, isn't it? Very much what you ground it in, not look on the law and everything else that goes behind some of those things.
What's really intricate about that is I think you're very clever, you allow I try and emulate it as well, but I'm not as good at it as you are. You allow other people to make the sales decision themselves, right? People have approached me and said, hey, would John be able to do this for me? And I've pointed them your direction as well, right? And I think that if you give people agency, like you make yourself available and then they're able to make the choice, that seems to me to be a really good life skill in general as well. Like you're not trying to force anything at anyone, right? It's a natural decision that they come to. But if me, didn't show up that way on LinkedIn, it's a lot harder to bias.
It is, and I'm very acutely aware of what I do. I'm a bit of a distressed purchase in that sense, and so I always think there's 100 employment lawyers on LinkedIn. You can connect with us, but when you might need us 6-12 months down the line, you're not going to remember the 99 other ones, but actually you might remember the one that will talk about things that resonate on a train, or Die Hard, or being ginger in a heat wave.
Yeah.
And it's not because that is you,
issues.
but that is the piece where you will go, oh, actually, I remember that, I resonate, oh, he's an employment lawyer, and I see the person behind that, that's where they then come back into you on that. So it's that thing of kind of, you connect today, but it's for the relationship in the longer run. But that's what they hook into. I think that's the thing I'm always trying to think about, is why me and why they come back to me, not it's a quick laugh today, or it's something they go, oh, that's a funny post. It's more the relationship it starts to kind of sow the seeds of, I think.
One last thing on this as well. I've learned a technique called layering from John as well, which is about thinking about having 2, 3, 4, 5 layers to every of those posts as well. Like there's the kind of grab me now and make a joke, or make something that's relevant to me right now, but actually leaving that. It's like a great perfume. It's got a head note, and then it's got a long-lasting underlying kind of thing that, you know, is the actual smell of the perfume as well. And I think your posts do that. They resonate with people, but they stay with people over a period of time as well. Quite nice.
If you get lawyers to start doing one thing from Monday, what would it be and why?
I think it's just being willing to try something. So whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's coming here. So there's a lot of lawyers or legal people here. A lot of them are quite senior management positions. There's not a lot of just case handlers and lawyers. Like to see them just come and try and see what's going on here and actually get involved in different things. So, you know, I've done that with the legal tech and the innovation piece of Weightmans. It's just quite interesting to see people try something different and get involved in that. So the LinkedIn was one thing. Just try, just see something different and get involved in it. It might not be for you, it might be. I think that's always the important thing for me, is just try and see, because you don't know if you don't try.
I love that. I think, it brought back a memory of me learning to surf with Meg a few years ago, and we both went and did something together for the first time, and it really helps you bridge the age gap, and I think that's true of senior lawyers and their NQs as well. Mine, I guess, would be just to remember that at one point in time we were all curious, right, as children, and that curiosity was the thing that gave us like interests and friendships, and we enjoyed life a bit more for it. I think it's going to be a superpower, John, over the next few years, to be curious. My coach said to me recently, Si, your job is not to be right, it's to be curious. And I love that idea of asking powerful people the right questions, not to be difficult, but actually to elicit, you know, the answers that are going to change the world as well. I think that's interesting.
I think we saw that yesterday. So we sat in on Sarah Walton's, so our managing partner's talk yesterday about, you know, kind of the right type of people and what we're looking for. A lot of that was about curiosity for me, and that the people that we're bringing in now, they already get this, they understand the tech piece, they're more curious about asking and being confident with it, you know, and I see that now. There's no kind of apprehension or fear of just asking you outright on something, which when I did this 20 years ago, never have dreamt of doing it. But they are curious. So us being more open and more willing to be curious back at people, I think that's really important, because that dynamic has completely changed now.
What would you say is the most interesting thing that you've learned being here over the last 2 days?
I'm going to go back to the people thing again. So this is the third time I've been here, and I think this year has been the biggest year where I've taken the kind of community piece out. I mean, it gets bigger and better every year, this, of course, but you go around a lot of the exhibits and it's kind of like, okay, well, what's the one that's got the one thing that's really different? What's the one that no one else is doing with that? I'm sure that probably is in there, but actually I've spent more time with the people. You know, the people I work with, the people I know, the people I'm friends with, the people that I don't know, but you do know, because again, you go back to LinkedIn. I've spent more time just talking and relationships with people this year than I think I've ever done at any conference. I feel like I've hardly seen some of the tech and some of the talks, because it's the community thing, I think, that I've really taken away from this time.
Yeah, I love that. So I can't go for that one, obviously. Mine would be slightly different, and say that I think we should ban all preparatory calls for any seminars or any panel talks, and I think the panelists should find out what each other thinks live in the room. Why do I think that? Because I think that people buy that authenticity, and they want to have a disagreement on stage about some things that matter. And I think if there's a groupthink otherwise to it that I think is quite dangerous. We don't need to go up and collectively agree. I can watch that video from 2 years ago. So please, can we have some more like unconference style things where they say to John, get on the stage and we're going to not even tell you what you're going to talk about, except they're going to be these 3 things, and you go for it, and everybody walks away thinking, I genuinely learned something different as well there. So that's my big takeaway this time.
Wonderful, thank you so much.